my name is Alisa, and today I'm going to be leading you through an upper body, kind of neck and shoulders relaxing yoga flow. So we're going to get started in a seated position. If it is uncomfortable for you to sit directly on the floor, you can always put a blanket underneath you or even a yoga block. And if cross-legged hurts your knees or your hips, your legs can be out, it's no problem. So to start, we are going to just close our eyes and start to pay attention to how you are breathing. So don't change anything quite yet. Just start to become aware. And then from there, see if you can breathe just a little bit deeper, a little bit more air in. And stretch that exhale out just a little bit longer. And do that again. Inhale. Just a little bit deeper, and exhale. Just a little bit longer. One more time, a nice deep breath this time. You can keep your eyes closed or open, whatever is more comfortable for you. So throughout the class today, we'll try to maintain just a nice deep breath as much as we can. Usually we breathe in and out through our nose, as that will naturally slow your breathing down. But if for any reason that's uncomfortable for you, you can always breathe through your mouth too. The most important thing is that you keep breathing throughout the entire class. So from a seated position, I want you to begin to pay attention to your pelvis, kind of your tailbone there, and maybe wiggle a little bit and try to find a place where you feel your weight is distributed equally between both sides of your tailbone. So you're not leaning too far to the right or too far to the left. And then from there, I want you to begin to engage your core. So often that feels like a bit of engagement in and then up. So bringing your belly towards your spine and then thinking about lifting that core section upwards. So continuing to hold that. Draw your shoulder blades together behind you just a little bit. Hands can come to the knees or maybe a little bit further back along the legs. And then with that base of support, imagine there is a cord at the top of your head and it's just pulling you up towards the sky. So see if you can lengthen through that spine just a little bit more, even lengthening that neck up just a bit. Let's take one more deep breath like this. All right, we're gonna start with some neck stretches. So I want you to drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Continue breathing here. If this feels comfortable, your left hand can reach down towards the ground. You can also take that right hand and maybe find a little bit of massage through that neck there. All right, one more breath. And then we'll bring the head back to neutral, switching sides, so the left ear to the left shoulder. Gentle here, and that right hand can come down towards the ground. And then again, if you want, you can kind of gently massage that neck where you feel the stretch. All right, coming back up to neutral. We're going to drop the chin towards the right armpit And this one you can bring your hand gently to the back of your head and just kind of gently increase that stretch. Make sure to not pull it down too much, just adding a little bit of weight. And then we'll drop the chin to the chest and then bring the chin towards the left armpit. And again, that left hand can gently rest on the top of the head. Come back up to neutral. We'll do just a few kind of neck rolls. So we'll start with the right ear to the right shoulder. Drop the chin to the chest. Left ear to the left shoulder. So moving at your own pace here. In a way that just feels good on your neck. Do one more to each side. All right, and then bring your head back up to neutral. Hands can stay on the knees. We're just gonna bring those shoulders up, draw them together behind you, and lower them down. So just some gentle shoulder rolls here to bring the shoulders into the stretch. Once more. All right, from here we're gonna inhale both arms up to the sky and drop that right hand to the mat, come into a side bend. So make sure you are keeping that side of your hips and your pelvis on the mat and reach through the top hand. Keep it nice and straight so that you feel the stretch all the way down your side body. If this feels really comfortable and you can go deeper, you can walk the hand further out or even come all the way down onto your forearm. But make sure the left side of your tailbone doesn't pop up. All right, we'll inhale both arms up, switch sides. So same things to focus on here, reaching through that top arm, moving to a place that's comfortable for you. Maybe you're keeping the hand up to support you, maybe coming all the way down onto your forearm. All right, inhale, come back up to center. From here, we're gonna come into a twist. So again, finding that really strong base of support, core is engaged, sitting nice and tall. Our left hand is gonna come to our right knee and our right hand is gonna come just behind us for support. And you're gonna twist to the side here. Inhale, come back to center, switching sides. So the right hand will come to the left knee. Left hand comes behind you for support. Twisting well, continuing to sit nice and tall. All right, inhaling back to center. From here, we are going to roll onto all fours. So if for any reason it's uncomfortable on your knees, you can always add a blanket or a towel underneath you If you are using a yoga mat, you can also just fold your mat over so that your legs and knees feel supported. If you have yoga blocks, they may be helpful as we move through our flow today, but they will not be necessary. So, coming to all fours, knees under the hips, heel of the hand right underneath the shoulders. Spread those fingers nice and wide. And we're gonna move through cat-cow here. So we're gonna inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward. On the exhale, pull the belly all the way up towards the spine. Drop the chin to the chest. Few rounds of this. Inhale, drop the belly. Think about drawing your shoulder blades together behind you. And then exhale, separate those shoulder blades as much as you can. Round out that back. Once more, inhale. And exhale. All right, coming back to that neutral spine, we're going to twist open to the right. So we're going to take our right hand to start. On the inhale, we're going to lift the right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bring that hand back down to the mat. We're going to do that a few times. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, back to all fours. Inhale, lift that right arm. And this time we'll hold it open. You can look up to the ceiling if that's comfortable on your neck, or you can look forward. All right. Exhale, back to all fours. We're going to switch sides now. So inhale that left arm up. And exhale, back to all fours. Inhale, reach that arm up. Exhale, back. Last time. Inhale, reach up. This time we're holding it. Exhale, back to all fours. From here, we're going to come into down dog. So to find that position, we're going to tuck those toes, keep those fingers spread nice and wide, and we're going to lift the hips back and up. You can always bend your knees here. If this is uncomfortable for your wrists or your shoulders, you can stay in all fours. It's working the same muscles, just a little bit less weight in that upper body. So in our down dog to start, let's find a little bit of movement. So I like to kind of lift my heels up and down. You can pedal out your legs, starting to stretch through the back of your legs. All right, from here, we're gonna step the right foot forward to the top of the mat. It might not make its way all the way up in one step, so you can always help it up with your hand. Staying on the ball of the back foot, the right foot is planted on the top of the mat. We're gonna inhale up to crescent lunge. So we're gonna lift our upper body up, coming into a lunge position. If this feels like too much for your lower body, you can drop your back knee. Exact same position, just a little bit less weight on the lower body. So, feeling nice and strong here, we're gonna squeeze our inner thighs together. That's gonna help square our hips to the front of the mat and engage that left glute. That's going to help increase the stretch through the front of the back leg. So those arms are reaching nice and tall now. Whether your knee is down or not, the upper body stays the same. On the next exhale, we're gonna come through cactus arms. So we're gonna take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, bend the elbows and try to imagine you're scraping your forearms along a wall behind you, bringing them all the way down to the bottom. And then inhale, lift the arms up again. Let's do that again. Exhale. Bring those arms all the way down. Inhale. Last time, exhale, cactus arms, bringing them down to the ground this time. So this might be a position where blocks, if you have them, may be helpful, just helps bring the ground a little bit closer to your hands. And we're all gonna drop our back knee. Some of you may be there already. Keeping the right hand planted on the mat or on a block if you're using one. We're gonna inhale the left arm up, coming into a twisted position here. So again, you can face forward, but if it feels okay on your neck, you can continue the stretch all the way through your neck and look up to the ceiling. All right, exhale the right hand down to the mat. From here, we are going to step back to all fours. So this is our first time through a vinyasa, so I'm gonna break it down a little bit. We have lots of options and modifications. So a vinyasa is just a group of poses that connects the two sides most of the time in a yoga class. So for most of us, that's gonna look like finding either half plank or full plank. From here, we're gonna move through chaturanga and lower down to your belly. So your knees can be down here, and we're gonna bend the elbows. Think about drawing the shoulder blades together, lower all the way down to your bellies. From here, untuck those toes, press the tops of the feet into the mat, and inhale, lift the chest, come into cobra pose. You can lower back down, bring those toes back underneath, and then press up and back either through plank or all fours, and shifting back to down dog. So you guys will hold down dog for a few breaths here. If that vinyasa felt like too much, you are welcome to just move through cat-cow and then either come to down dog, or you could shift back into a child's position. And that can be your way of moving through the vinyasa. So we'll take a few breaths here for moving to the next side. All right, from here we are going to step the left foot forward to the top of the mat. Again, you have the option here to stay on the ball of your back foot or drop the knee, and we'll lift up into crescent pose. So again, on this side, think about squeezing your inner thighs together. That's gonna bring your hips to neutral, engaging the right glutes, and the arms reaching nice and tall. All right, on the next exhale, we'll bend those elbows. Think about scraping an imaginary wall behind you. Bring those hands all the way down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From here, Hands are gonna come to the ground. You can drop your back knee. So the right hand will stay on the mat or on a block, and we'll inhale the left arm up to the sky, coming into a twisted lunge. So thinking about drawing your shoulder blades together here, you can look out to the side of your mat or up to the ceiling. All right, exhale, both hands down. We're going to step back to plank or half plank and move through another vinyasa. So your knees can always be down here. Exhale, chaturanga, lowering down to your bellies. Tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, cobra, lift the chest. And then exhale, lower down, pressing back to down dog or child's pose. All right, from here we're gonna meet back at all fours. Starting with the right hand, I want you to reach your right arm underneath your body, come down onto the right shoulder, right side of the head will rest on the mat. So we're going to twist here. So there's a few ways you can move through this. You can keep your left hand on the mat and press into the hand, and that will help draw that left shoulder back, bringing you deeper into the twist. You may want to stay there. Some people will want to bring the left hand and just rest it on their lower back, continuing to think about drawing that left shoulder back. And if you have long arms or a lot of mobility, you may be able to tuck that left arm all the way around on the right leg and use that to pull you deeper into the twist. All right, we're gonna release that slowly. Come back to all fours, and we are going to switch sides. So the left arm is gonna come underneath you. You're gonna come down onto the left shoulder, the left side of the head. The right hand can be used to press into the ground, drawing you deeper into that twist. You can also take that right hand, rest it on the lower back. Or maybe bring it all the way around, tucking it onto that left leg, twisting nice and deep here. All right, releasing that, coming back to all fours. From here, we're gonna lower down onto our bellies, so you can use chaturanga here to come all the way down. So again, untuck those toes, press the tops of the feet into the mat. That's gonna help you engage through that lower body. And we are going to come into locust pose. So there's a few options and variations here. You can just do cobra pose like we have already, if that feels comfortable. Or you can bring the hands behind you. Inhale, lift the chest here. We're thinking about drawing the shoulder blades together. I like to have my palms facing one another and kind of imagine trying to reach and clasp your hands even though they likely won't touch. One more breath here. And then exhale, lower down. Taking a nice deep breath of rest here. We're going to come back into that. So press into the tops of your feet, engage the legs. Inhale, lift the chest up. If this felt good last time, you can lift the legs and add a little bit extra, but you don't need to. Shoulder blades drawing together behind you. Exhale, lower down. So you can stay there, or if you want to take it up one more notch, you can clasp the hands behind you. We're going to inhale, lift the chest up. If you want, the legs can come up. They don't need to. Holding this and breathing. It's our last time in locust pose. All right, exhale, lower down. Taking a nice deep breath on your mat. And from here, we're gonna make our way to laying on our backs. So you can simply roll over, or you can come up and then come to lay down. So from here, we're gonna either tee our arms out to the side, or if you're a little short on space, you can come into cactus arms. So elbows bent, arms reaching the top of the mat. Bring the knees up to a 90-degree angle. And we're gonna drop our knees down to the right. So this would be a place where you can put a block underneath your knees if they don't quite reach the ground. It's also okay if your left shoulder pops up a little bit. So once the legs are settled, I want you to think about drawing the left shoulder towards the ground. It doesn't need to touch, but that intention of lengthening across the chest is important. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can continue to the twist and face your head towards the left side of the mat, but you don't need to. All right, on the next inhale, we're gonna lift our knees back up to center. You can always use your hands to help them get there if you need. And we're simply gonna drop them to the other side. So again, once your legs are settled, either on the ground or with a block or a blanket underneath that bottom knee, I want you to think about drawing the right shoulder towards the ground. It doesn't need to touch, just that intention of lengthening across the chest. And you are welcome to face all the way towards the right if that feels okay on your neck. If it doesn't, just keep looking up towards the ceiling. All right, we're gonna inhale those knees back up to center, grabbing on to either behind your knees, to the back of your thighs, or to your knees. We're gonna squeeze the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze here. And then we're gonna roll onto the right side. Press yourself back up to a seated position. Again, coming to a comfortable seated position. Legs can be crossed, they can be out. Bring your hands to your knees, and we're just gonna close our eyes again and end class the same way we started. So coming back to that breath. Nice deep breaths here through the nose if it's possible. Sitting nice and tall. One more nice deep breath. And you can open your eyes. Thank you for joining me today for this upper body yoga flow. I hope you felt some stress reliefs and some tension fade away as we move through class today. Thanks.